I wanted to do just a touch on a quick video, and this is something that I've found throughout my paint jobs that deal with getting a good paint job without issues, and it all involves a Kcup. And for the people that don't know, a Kcup is what's used in the Keurig coffee brewer. I think most people know about these nowadays. It's the most popular gift during Christmas time every year, pretty much, is these, you know, coffee machines where you get the little K-cups and you pop it in and you make a cup of coffee and all that. Now, how does that tie in with paint jobs? Filtering your paint. I've ran into many situations where I've mixed up some paint and ready to go, put it in the airbrush, I'm spraying, and then when I get done and I'm looking at the finished job, there's little spit here and there, or a blemish or something, where it could have very much been resolved by filtering the paint. So you may be beginning to see a tie here with the K-cups because they have a filter. Well, I'm not saying go out and, you know, buy some of these cups and rinse it out and try to use the filter inside. That's not what I'm saying. I stumbled across a find, and this just has been working out awesome. Especially, you know, if you're doing the Model Master acryls, which I like so much, they do have a tendency to chunk up. And even with the mixer, which is the best option for mixing these, you can still get some thick blobs and things in that paint that will try to go through your airbrush. And that sucks. I mean, that's going to ruin your paint. With the little, if you're doing the Don Yost method and you're using the little quarter ounce bottles, these are typically thicker than the Model Master and Boyd half-ounce bottles. This stuff tends to be a little thicker, and you usually have to thin, instead of doing the 2-part paint to 1 part thinner. I've found with these smaller quarter-ounce bottles, it's much better to go with a 1-to-1, you know, 1 part paint to 1 part thinner, which would be 50% thinner. Or no, it'd be 100% actually, 100%, so because it'd be 1-to-1. But anyway, that's semantics. But anyway, it's a good idea to filter this stuff, especially if you've had these bottles sitting around for a little while. Well, a little something that I stumbled upon just by accident, and this pertains to the people who have one of those K-Cup brewers. At Walmart, they have a brand called Cameron's, and the cup is different. It's actually a filter suspended around a plastic rim, and then of course you have the foil top that the coffee maker penetrates the top, and then it brews through. And I thought, boy, that's a cool looking. Wouldn't that be nice if I could use one of those for a filter, because it's perfect. It's bowl shaped, small. This is what they look like when you buy them. And by the way, this is awesome coffee. I gotta say, if you do have a K-Cup brewer, check out Walmart and get you some Cameron's. This stuff's strong. If you like strong coffee, this is great. It's a lot different from your typical K-Cups that are in the plastic cup. These come like this. That's how they come. So, being the modeler that I am, and that most of us are, and looking at things and seeing it in a modeling way, I decided, well, I'll cut that, you know, after I make a cup of coffee, I cut the foil out, the top, and I'm left with this little filter basket. And all I did was, after I made a cup of coffee, I just set the cup on a napkin and let it sit for a day, and then the next day I cut the foil top out, and then I just rinsed it under water, and this is how clean it comes. I mean, it's you don't have to scrub or scrape or soak or do anything like that with these. Just rinse them out and the stuff comes right out. If you rinse it from the back side, you just rinse it out under tap water, and it just cleans it right out. Very easy. And then just set it down and let it dry. And it forms this beautiful little paint filter. And you might be thinking, some of you might be thinking, well, this is awful dense, it's going to filter out the pigment and whatnot. No, it doesn't. Trust me, all the paint will flow through, aside from the most smallest of particles and blobs and things like that. You know, unmixed components. I've tried it with the acryl, which is, this bottle is a filtered bottle of it. I've used it with the Don Yost method. This is some enamel with the lacquer thinner, and I've mixed it all up and then ran it through one of these, and this is what I had, and this is what I sprayed. So it's no problem with coverage. This was over a red, so obviously there's no pigment loss or anything. The only thing that'll be left in here is just actual, your tiny little bits and particles that just didn't filter quite well. So basically what this does is this filters your paint very nicely. It will spray like silk. And as you can see, I mean, that's straight out of the, no polishing, no nothing. That's straight 1-to-1 mix of yellow, Tester's yellow in the 1/4-inch bottle with an equal amount of lacquer thinner from the hardware store. Ran it through the filter, sprayed it. And there you go. So just a tip, I know that's kind of a stretch for some people that might not have one of these brewers or whatever. A box of this stuff at Walmart costs $7. You get 12 cups out of it. So I've just been saving them as I've been drinking coffee. I've just been saving the little filter things and rinsing them out. No extra effort. It's not tedious or anything like that. It rinses out in just in half a minute. You can rinse it out and it comes out just clean. And even if it does have just a tint of coffee, it won't make any difference. It's not gonna change your paint or anything. It's not gonna hurt anything. And I haven't found an issue where like the oils in the coffee have caused any reaction or anything like that. So just a weird kind of off, you know, the things that us modelers will do, the things that we find and see out there, and works like a charm. Now, as far as when I filter it, I went around the house looking for a container that this would sit down inside. Obviously, it has a lip around it. It didn't take me long to find several different containers that this fit in. So I wanted something glass, and I found this candle. It was just something that was bought at the dollar store. It had a little candle in it. I cleaned it out, and boom, it drops right in. So I've got my little paint mixing set up here. Yeah, I'll talk to wife into buying another box of the coffee. And you know, each one of these is a paint job. I've got 12 per box already. That's 12 paint jobs for a box of coffee, which we're going to spend on anyway. All I do is find a suitable container for these to drop into, and it does an amazing job of filtering the paint. And it will enhance your paint jobs by filtering. No matter how you decide to do it, you can use coffee filters or however you want to do it. But filtering it is it's just that last step, you know, before you paint. You can look at Dr. Cranky's videos. He talks about filtering and everything, but it really does make a difference, especially if you have paints that have been sitting around a little while, or you buy paints off of eBay or something. You buy a lot of paint cheap. You know, most likely it's going to be kind of starting to dry out and whatnot. And even though you mix it really good, there's still going to be that thick, sputtery stuff that's going to sputter, you know. But it's just a tip. And for you guys that have a Keurig brewer, it's an extra bonus because you're going to be drinking the coffee and enjoying that as well. So anyway, just a quickie, just a off the wall tip, and but not far out of the realm of anybody to do. And thanks for watching. Bye.